the Enigma Killer. In the heart of the city, a sinister enigma began to take shape. A serial killer, shrouded in darkness, left a trail of gruesome murders in their wake. But what set this killer apart was not the brutality of their crimes, but the cryptic symbols they left behind at each crime scene, turning their reign of terror into a twisted puzzle for the authorities. Detective Emily Harris had seen her fair share of horrors in her years on the force, but the case of the Enigma Killer was unlike any other. The killer's signature was the strange symbols etched into the flesh of their victims, an intricate language of fear and mystery. The first victim, a young woman named Melissa, was found brutally murdered in an abandoned warehouse. Her lifeless body bore the chilling marks of the killer's cryptic symbols carved into her skin. The symbols seemed to taunt the investigators, a macabre message that defied interpretation. As Emily delved into the case, she discovered that Melissa had been an avid puzzle enthusiast. Her apartment was filled with crossword puzzles, Sudoku, and brain teasers. Emily couldn't shake the feeling that the killer had chosen Melissa for a reason, that the symbols were meant to be deciphered. The second victim, a middle-aged man named David, met a similar gruesome fate. His life ended in a disused subway tunnel, his body marked with the same cryptic symbols. Emily was sure that the symbols held the key to understanding the killer's motives, but they remained an impenetrable code. Desperate for a breakthrough, Emily sought the help of a brilliant cryptographer named Daniel. He was known for his uncanny ability to crack even the most complex codes. Together, they analyzed the symbols, searching for patterns and meaning. As they worked tirelessly through the night, Emily and Daniel uncovered a chilling revelation. The symbols were not random, they were a form of communication. Each symbol represented a letter, and when deciphered, they spelled out a terrifying message. The city will bleed until it remembers. The cryptic message sent a shiver down Emily's spine. What did the killer mean by "until it remembers"? And what did the city need to remember? The third victim, a prominent politician named Robert, was found in his own home, the symbols carved into his chest. Emily knew they were running out of time. The killer was escalating, growing bolder with each murder, and the message was growing clearer. They were targeting figures of power. Emily and Daniel worked tirelessly, racing against the clock to decipher the symbols and identify the next potential victim. They combed through databases of people in positions of authority, searching for a connection, a common thread that might reveal the killer's true motive. As they closed in on a potential target, Emily received an anonymous tip, a chilling video that showed the killer taunting their victims, reciting cryptic riddles and clues that seemed to hint at a grand scheme. The video ended with the ominous words, "The final act approaches." With a sinking feeling, Emily realized that the killer had been leading them on a twisted scavenger hunt, luring them into their deadly game. The cryptic symbols were not just clues, they were pieces of a larger puzzle, a puzzle that would end in a shocking revelation. The final act took place in an abandoned theater, its crumbling stage shrouded in darkness. Emily and Daniel arrived just in time to witness the killer's sinister performance, a gruesome tableau that sent shivers down their spines. The killer had arranged the bodies of their victims in a grotesque display, surrounded by cryptic symbols that seemed to dance in the dim light. As they confronted the killer, a chilling confession spilled from their lips. The symbols were a form of revenge, a way to make the city remember the sins of its past. The killer had lost someone dear, someone who had suffered at the hands of the powerful, and now they sought justice in the most horrifying way possible. With a heavy heart, Emily realized that the killer's twisted quest for justice had left a trail of bloodshed and fear in its wake. She couldn't condone their actions, but she understood the pain that had driven them to this point. As the authorities closed in, the killer took their own life, leaving behind a final cryptic message that haunted Emily to her core. The enigma remains. In the end, the city would remember the Enigma Killer, not for the cryptic symbols, but for the darkness that had driven them to commit unspeakable acts. Emily knew that some enigmas could never truly be solved, and the scars of the past would forever linger in the shadows.